Hi, I'm Seemann, CEO and founder of StaffCircle, and here is our pitch for the AI Innovation Awards. So, StaffCircle exists to help organisations make their employees more successful, and we do that by removing data silos and manual processes within HR, L&D and TA teams. What do I mean by a silo? Well, let's consider talent acquisition. Let's say we're looking for a new person to fill an HR admin role. What are the rules and processes that drive the interview process itself? The interview questions, the assessments that work out who the successful candidate is. And when that candidate becomes an employee, what are the rules that HR use to drive and measure performance day to day and cultural alignment? What's the framework that L&D uses to understand what training is required, what development is required, and eventually succession planning? Are all these teams using the same underlying framework? I suspect not. In fact, I know for sure in small to medium-sized organisations they are not using a single unified framework. And this is a real shame because not having a single framework causes big problems. First of all, employee performance is impacted. Employee engagement is lower. Productivity can be hugely impacted, and eventually attrition becomes a real issue. But there is a way forwards, and the way forwards is to create a single, unified and integrated competency framework. What do I mean by this? Well, we take every role and we deeply describe it. We take every skill that's required for the role and again, deeply describe the skills. We take the role-based skills and then we take behavioural skills from the values of the organisation. And then for each of those skills, we define competency levels and then the statements for each of those competency levels, which you can see here. Now, obviously this is a huge amount of work. And when you then combine that with all of the succession roles or the pathways through the organisation, you can see it's a complex thing to produce. And that's one of the reasons why most organisations don't have a unified competency framework. And that's because we're still using spreadsheets. And even organisations that do have one, that have taken maybe up to a year to produce, haven't got them connected into the day-to-day processes, and that's where you extract the real value. But let's face it, most organisations don't have one because of the cost and because of the time it takes. And that's where StaffCircle's innovation has taken place. Over the last 18 months, we've developed and delivered one of the world's first one-click AI competency framework builders, which basically removes this and replaces it with this, which is a single automated solution for generating a framework. It takes all of the roles, empty roles or filled roles from the Active Directory or from the HRIS. It describes them, every skill, every succession pathway, and builds all of this in under an hour. And by the time you've adjusted it and top and tailed it, maybe you've got like a week. And what we've done here is reduced the time it takes to build a competency framework from 1 year down to 1 week. And that's a game changer for small to medium-sized organisations because now finally they can have a single unified competency framework. And once they've got that, they can deliver this, which is all of the things around that connect into it inside the organisation in order to extract the value. You know, day-to-day performance, succession planning. We can do validation objectives. We can do skills assessments. We can do single person dependency analysis, skills gap analysis. We've got deep analytics going on. All of these things will connect. We've even at StaffCircle launched our own training objective, AI-powered training objective, which connects to the framework and understands what skills gaps you've got and automatically connects them to all the available relevant training based on those skills gap statements. So you can see this drives huge value. And actually, just to show you this in action, one of our customers, Group PMX, is a construction company in New York. They deployed our framework about a year ago, and they've seen a reduction in churn of about 50%. So material benefit of deploying the framework. And the reason they've been able to do that is because once they've got the framework, they can deploy career development plans to every member of their team. And as we all know, lack of perceived development is one of the big reasons people leave organizations. In fact, it's been so impactful that one of the biggest construction magazines in the industry, called Constructor, has actually written a 3-page article about it. And it's been recently published, and you can see some of the screenshots here. So, real-world application, traditional organisation delivered in a compliant and safe way, and where we're able to see AI driving innovation in HR. Thank you for listening, and open the floor to questions.